Hello and welcome back to day 4 of Ohso Yoganuary. Thank you once again for joining me. Today we're going to look at Sun Salutation B. So in the Ashtanga Primary Series, the sequence starts with 5 rounds of Sun A, which we did yesterday, and it's followed by 5 rounds of Sun B. So I'm going to take you through Sun B. Yesterday I introduced you to the Ujjayi breath. I'd like you to keep practicing with that. But today I want us to think about keeping the core strong by keeping the space between our ribs and our navel quite short. So quite often when we breathe in, or if we find something quite difficult, we'll flare the ribs out. And what we want to do is we want to bring the ribs in. It might be easier like this. So rather than here, bring the ribs in towards each other and down. So rather than being up here, we're bringing them down and in so they're closer to the navel. And you can feel already by bringing them in and down, we're really working the core and we're shortening this part. And it's just really going to protect our lower backs and it's really going to work the core. I can feel that working now already. So this is what I want you to think about today on top of the Ujjayi breath from yesterday. So just a quick reminder with Ujjayi breath. We draw the navel in, pull the pelvic floors up nice and tight so we're breathing into the chest. And then today we're going to draw those ribs in together and down. And that's lengthening the lower back and it's shortening the core muscles there. And then on top of all that, we just want to try and relax the shoulders down. Not much to think about at all. So let's go on to our mats. Let's take a couple of rounds of Ujjayi breath first. So let's take a comfortable seated position, closing our eyes. And just allowing ourselves to soften, to relax. And just to let go of anything that's buzzing around in our mind, in our head. Our to-do list. Things that may have been happening leading up to today, things you want to do or should be doing. Just try and let them all go. So those thoughts of things that have happened, maybe things that are worrying us, creating stress, they are in the past, they are just a distant memory. Those things that we're worrying about because we need to do them, they are the future, just a dream. If we allow ourselves to focus on the breath, switching on that Ujjayi breath, hearing the breath, we allow ourselves to connect to the present moments, to the here and the now. Let go of the distant memories, let go of the dreams, and just be here. Long deep inhale and long deep exhale. As we inhale, take our arms out to the side, up to the sky. Exhale, bringing hands to our hearts and resting hands to our knees and gently opening our eyes. So let's step to the top of our mats. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. So again, ground through the feet. And spread the toes, lift the knees, lift through the chest, lift through the crown. Long body, open the heart. And then just think about drawing those ribs down a little, the navel in, the pelvic floor up. We're going to bend knees, sweep fingers for chair pose, Utkatasana. So for chair pose, really ground through the feet. Sit back into the seat so the weight is in the heels and reach up, up, up through the fingers. Maybe we can bring the hands into a prayer and gaze to the back of the thumbs. If this feels a little bit cramped in the shoulders, then take the arms wider again and gaze between the hands. If this hurts in the neck, or just feels like it's just not, there's any kind of pain, then just look ahead. The weight should be in the heels, the toes should be able to wiggle. Draw the navel in, shorten that space between ribs and navel. And as we exhale, we'll come into a forward fold. Lengthening through the legs, maybe we can bring the palms down to the ground. As we inhale, halfway lift, looking up. As we exhale, we'll step or maybe jump to the back of the mat into a high plank. And we'll lower down for half chaturanga for our first round. Drop down to knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forwards, roll the shoulders for cobra. Exhale, come back down as we push back into downward facing dog. We're going to turn the left heel in so the heel comes down to the ground and step the right foot between the hands. If we can't get the handle of the foot all the way forward, then we might want to hold on with the right hand and bring the foot forward towards the top of the mat. Reaching the arms up for warrior one. So keep that right leg bent. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, and ground through the back heel. Gazing to the back of the thumbs. Again, you might find you've arched your back and you've got that space between the ribs again. So draw the ribs down, really working the core. As we exhale, we're going to take the hands down either side of the front foot, turn onto the back toes, step back, high plank, and lower down for half chaturanga. Again, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forwards, roll the shoulders for cobra. Exhale, come down, push back through downward facing dog. This time turn the right heel in and we'll step the left foot forward. Warrior one, ground through the feet, reaching the arms up. Find a dry breath, and as we exhale, hands back down, step back, high plank, and lower down for half chaturanga. Inhale, slide forwards, roll the shoulders for cobra. Exhale, back down. Push back into downward facing dog. We're going to hold there for a few breaths. Spreading fingers, spreading toes. So you can bring the heels down towards the ground. Remember to keep the knees bent if that gives more length in the spine. One more long deep breath there, press through the fingertips. Inhale up onto the toes, look ahead. Exhale, stepping, walking, maybe jumping to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend our knees. Sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release, take another round. Inhale, bend our knees. Sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen through the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping, maybe jumping back into our high plank and lower down, maybe full chaturanga this time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the left heel in and step the right foot forward for warrior one. Exhale, take the hands back down. Step back, high plank, lower down, maybe full chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right heel in, step the left foot forward. Warrior one, ground through the outside edge of the back foot. Exhale, hands down, step back, high plank, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Reconnect with the breath. You may find that you need a rest here. If you do, instead of down dog, come into child's pose. Just softly resting the forehead down onto the ground. One more breath there. If you're in child's pose, you'd like to join back in. Come back into your downward facing dog. Inhale up onto the toes like a head. Exhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend our knees, sweep fingers for chair, sit back into that seat. Exhale, hands to our hearts, and release. And again, inhale, bend knees, sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze to the toes. Inhale, half lift, gaze to the nose. Exhale, step, maybe jumping back, lowering down for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Turning your left heel in, step the right foot forward for warrior one. Reach for the sky. Exhale, hands back down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Turn the right heel in, left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down, step back, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And breathe, spread fingers, spread toes. Activate your Ujjayi breath. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe drop down to child's pose. If you're in child's pose, you'd like to join back in, come back into your downward facing dog. We'll inhale up onto the toes like a head, exhale, stepping, maybe jumping to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend our knees, sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, hands to our hearts, and release, final round. Inhale, bend knees, sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel in, right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one, arms up. Exhale, hands back down, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right heel in, left foot forward, arms up. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Spreading the sit bones. Reconnecting with your breath. Lengthening and slowing the breath. And that lengthen the hamstrings, length in the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up onto the toes like a head, exhale, step or jump to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend our knees, sweep fingers for chair. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release. Let's sit down, come back down onto the mat, and we're going to come into a child's pose. Take the knees nice and wide, sit back onto the heels, walk the arms out in front, rest the forehead down on the mat. So just taking the knees as wide as is comfortable for you. We want to sit as far back to the heels as we can. Any pain in the knees, you might want to come up. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. And just feel the breath start to settle, to calm, to slow. If you feel as though you need some more opening through the backs of the shoulders, you could take the hands into a prayer and then take the thumbs to the nape of the neck. Take 3 more long deep breaths there. And slowly walking the hands back in, come into our comfortable cross-legged position. We'll inhale, take our arms out to the side, up to the sky, fill the lungs, the bellies. Exhale, bring our hands to our hearts, sealing our practice and bowing our heads for Namaste. Thank you once again, and we'll see you tomorrow for some yin.